Bruce Wayne and District Attorney Harvey Dent have a lot in common. Not only do they each fight for the good of Gotham, they also like the same girl, and that lucky lady is Rachel Dawes. Maggie Gyllenhaal plays Rachel Dawes, and Aaron Eckhart plays District Attorney Harvey Dent. Good morning. Nice to see you both.
Good morning.
Right off the bat in the information last night, I realized you two come to these roles from different places. You watched the show, Batman, on television as a kid. Yeah. You didn't know a lot about Batman.
No.
No? So what was it about the script that you decided this is a good role to take?
Well, the cast was basically already set when Chris called me, you know, so it was...
the director, yeah.
Chris Nolan, yeah, so it was, you know, Gary Oldman and Michael Caine and Aaron and Christian and Heath and Morgan Freeman, and very difficult, I think, not to take seriously, even though I wasn't really looking to do a movie at the time. I had a 3-month-old baby, but it was just, you know, something I felt like I had to do, you know, especially once Chris really made it clear to me he wanted Rachel to be, you know, a real, thinking, smart woman.
What was funny to me, Aaron, is that the script was so secret. I mean, nobody could see it without having, you know, guns pointed at them and flyovers by the Air Force. Yet he basically put it in the mail to you, and yet he locked her up in a room and made her. So he trusted you, and he didn't trust her.
No. Wait a second. Don't spread rumors about it. You really get me in trouble
here. There was a guy in an SUV waiting in my driveway.
Weapon, exactly.
You didn't invite him into your house?
Oh, no.
And give him some tea or some crumpets or something?
Did you?
No, he was in the driveway. I wouldn't let him in.
But it was top secret, this script, no question.
I mean, I can't wait till this movie opens so that we can talk openly about the film. I mean, even now, it's so difficult not to give information or plot away, you know, or talk about our relationship. It's very difficult.
Did you two have any trepidations about being the new members of the cast, because Batman Begins had that cast set in place, and you're the new kids in this one? Yes.
Well, it's a family. Chris has created a family atmosphere. Christian's coming back, and Gary. I was more intimidated about working with great actors, you know, Maggie and Gary, but they welcomed us with open arms. And then Heath is a new character as well.
Can you explain a little bit about this kind of love triangle that goes on between Batman and Rachel and Harvey?
Yeah, well, you know, Rachel and Bruce had a relationship before in the previous Batman, and in the previous Batman she says to him that she loves him, but that she can't be with him if he's Batman, which is understandable, I think.
But that she will be back when he's no longer Batman.
Yeah, well, she'll consider it, and she loves him. And then, you know, in the meantime, I think she understands why he has to be Batman, and she falls in love with somebody else.
And how are Harvey Dent and Batman alike and different, Aaron?
Well, they both love Gotham City and want to clean up Gotham City, but they do it. One does it inside the law, and one does it outside the law.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I think you described Harvey Dent as the White Knight versus Batman's Dark Knight.
Right. Yeah. There's interesting dynamics going everywhere. I mean, everybody has these two faces, Bruce Wayne and Batman. You know, the Joker has his history. It's a very complex film, actually.
You just kind of led me into some. You mentioned Two Faces. You also play in the movie Two-Face. Well, there's a lot, as you mentioned, we don't want to give away here, but you do play two roles in this one movie.
Yeah, I have Harvey Dent, and he has a transformation into the character Two-Face, and he becomes that classic Batman villain.
I have to say, I was watching some of the coverage of the premiere the other night, and it was something filled with mixed emotions, because while this movie, everybody's raving about it, there is this kind of emptiness that's felt about Heath Ledger, because here he put forward one of the great performances ever, certainly of his career, and not there to kind of accept the kudos and the pat on the back for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's very sad and difficult, I think, to really feel in the midst of something so huge. You know, I certainly feel like he's so incredible in the movie, and it's so terribly sad that he's not here, that in a way, you know, it's difficult to really feel how sad that is in the midst of all these TV shows and cameras.
Right.
And it's like you kind of have to protect yourself a little bit, because it's just such a shame.
And his family flew in for the premiere. Did you get a chance to talk to them at all?
I talked to his mother. It's interesting, at the party afterwards, and she was very upbeat, very proud, as we all are, to have worked with Heath. I told her a little story about Heath's iPod. about whenever we went into the trailer, we'd always say, whose iPod is this? Because it would be some whacked out music, you know, that nobody had ever heard of before. And it was Heath's, and that iPod has since become a symbol of Heath, and his friends pass it around to each other, download the music, and then pass it on.
That's interesting.
So yeah, it's living on, that iPod, and I feel like we had a history with it.
Well, I don't make a history of sitting up here and saying to actors in movies, great movie, just to say it, but this is a real thrill ride, and I enjoyed it from start to finish, so congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And let me tell people that it opens, The Dark Knight hits regular and IMAX theaters on Friday. And up next,